Yeah, that was the face card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the face card.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Simple Path. As said before, this weekend is going to be a double header to make up for lost time, since Peppy is going to be unfortunately absent for the next until August.
I might be back sooner, but yeah, probably until August.
As long as it takes, man. But for now, we're gonna try and make the best of the time we have, and get Kanabos in a good situation where he's not just kind of has to fade out of existence, Tony Stark style. So that would be unfortunate. I have to come up with the reasons. However, because life is never 100% willing to work with you or me or anybody else, Frey is going to be absent for this session. He's too busy running a booth where he gets to kick children around for money. Lucky bastard. Anyway, I kid. He's not kicking children around. Instead, he's just running a booth, as I understand it, to promote his self-defense dojo.
Martial arts.
Martial arts
are a scam.
Yes. Porvalis, welcome in. And Duke Manbro, let's see it. It's Kimura. And welcome in. Okay. Not too late of a start today. We'll have plenty of time. So where we left off was the party dispelling the... Kimura, you can stop snapping. He's already gone. Well, no, actually, no, not Kanabos. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. But yes, they had just finished dispelling the magic on the sarcophagus reliquary, preserving the corpse and the actual reliquary itself, not needing to forcefully destroy it. Instead, through a something of definitely not an act of God, more of an act of a wizard. The magic anchoring the henge stones was dispelled, so that was felt through the ground not long after that. And that was after the party successfully destroyed the Nihiloi, the Shadow Plane tyrant that was hellbent on turning Vark into one of his subjects to make a very slow but sure job of reasserting his empire. That leaves all of you now, battered, but alive. Most of you. And in an empty, sparsely lit throne room / ossuary. And I turn over agency to you.
Well.
Wow. Well,
Unfortunately, I don't like being given choice, so I'm crippled with anxiety and indecision. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
What you doing right now, buddy?
Well, if you're so crippled with
Um,
indecision and choice paralysis, I would like to
Yes.
point that there is a singular alcove over here with a door in it.
yes.
Please,
At the
Mr. G,
altar?
railroad me.
Look, man, I can rail you, and I put you on a road, but I can't railroad you. And if I have the first one has to be out of session off stream.
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy
Double
Pride
damn.
Happy day.
Right. Okay, no, but all joking aside, Vark, having just with the help, well, I can't say with the help, he really didn't do it. It was really just his master. Having just facilitated the cleansing of the altar here, of the reliquary. He still has his hand on it actually, and he now opens his eyes, having previously shut them, as he was like whispering that plea for someone to help with this. because he did not want it to be destroyed, but he also obviously couldn't let it stay in the corrupted state that it was. So as he opens his eyes and in his mind that fading, proud, smug laughter of his master echoes. He opens his eyes, and the first thing he sees is Mallory on that fucking throne. And now he's gone.
he's been erased.
Mallory, no.
Mallory,
So, while Vark is having this very important introspective moment, recovering from the exertion, hearing the sound of his master's smug laughter still echoing off the walls, Mallory strides over and plops his ass down in the throne that the Nihiloi was previously sitting in.
Is it comfortable?
Does anything happen? Is it a trap? Is
Well,
it a
that's a
mimic?
good question. Mallory, just before I begin with anything, what were you thinking?
I thought his token fit in the chair.
That's fair. That's very fair. Um,
If it fits, so
If I fits, I sit.
what was Mallory thinking?
Need a break from my heels.
Okay. Well, your feet are definitely gonna get a rest. Can I get a will save? Excellent. Fine. Unfortunately, no. Okay, gonna have to do this by hand. Small, I think. There we go. Marvel at my illustrative prowess.
Chains?
Very astute, Siren. Yes, chains. So Mallory plants his behind on the throne while this moment is happening. And yes, Cam, Mallory has been fighting in heels. Heeled boots, but still heels.
He's 5'8" and the heels make him 6'2".
He's wearing 6 inches of heels.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually went over this a few days ago.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, he's such a diva.
He's got
How
big
does this man
Oh,
shoes.
no.
walk through mud?
I don't know if you were in the call actually with us happening, but me and
I might not have been in the
other-
call for that.
It's in the reference sheet.
Oh my god. 6 inches of heels. God. That's putting battle heels to a serious test. Anyway, so him and all his Healy glory. Plants his ass in the chair, probably throwing one foot over one knee, very imperiously. There's a moment where, despite what I drew previously, there's no shadow that swallows him up. Instead, there is a moment where the air grows unbearably hot. The 2 lanterns hanging next to the throne explode with light, and golden chains fire out, slamming in place as manacles on your arms, Mallory, which then pull taut, and with your arms pulled out to either side, your back is slammed, your head is whammed into the backrest of the throne. For a moment, you're held there like it's trying to tug of war pull you in two pieces. And you get the deep impression of being judged.
Mallory?
Mallory?
And this is why we don't go sitting on thrones. Random throw.
I'm fine.
Flick immediately starts running up to the throne and just blurts out, "What the bloody hell were you thinking?"
We could use that I could use the rest. Apparently, that was wrong for me to think so.
Could have just sat on the floor.
The floor's beneath him.
Sarah, let's find a way to get the chains off him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is all happening very quickly as the chains glow with that pseudo-Elvic runic language. The runes themselves blaze with white light. Mallory's skin becomes translucent as that light seems to drift into it. Mallory, you feel something rooting around in your head.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Something flips through your memories and your very identity like a Rolodex.
I really don't like that.
You're forced in stark agony for about half of a second to relive everything you remember. From the moment you woke up in a basement to the moment you sat your ass down on the throne. And it all happens faster than you can blink. Siren and Flick watch as that white light begins to move up, which previously surged through his arms into his chest, then comes up, shining out through his eyes and mouth, before then dimming, seeming to dissipate. And the tautness of the chains dissipate, or they slacken. They relax, easing him down onto the throne again. And whatever the thing was judging you for, Mallory, it seems it did not find it. Whatever it was looking for, it did not find it. As the chains unlatch and then dissipate into motes of golden light.
Well, rule of thumb: we don't sit on random thrones from now on. Yes.
Now,
Rightio.
I should remind you, those golden chains are familiar to a few of you.
Is it a
Was
spell?
that the same? Was it the same golden chain that way up that locked the shadow beast that tricked Kargan into switching places?
Yes, the giant troglodyte monster. That was the golden chain that was holding it in place. It's very familiar.
Oh.
Lovely.
Oh no, Rin, how could you do this to me? I know, I'm changing. What is this?
Metamorphosis.
I am Goose now. Rin has done this. I am Goose. But yes, Mallory, what previously might have tried to bind you in place has found it unnecessary. So welcome in, Rin. But yes,
Hi, Rin.
Goose quest. Quest.
Goose.
Guest. Be our guest.
Yes, be my
Put
guest.
your DMing to the test.
You always do. I don't know. But God, they're making me cycle between them now. Also,
Well, that was strange.
Yes.
It's like a voice in our head suddenly got swapped multiple times.
Yeah.
It gave us a fright there.
I think my
Yes.
It was fine.
I think the voices in my head have their own voices.
My insanity is insane.
Well, whatever that was, it's over. Hopefully. Please lift yourself from the throne before it activates again.
Oh, it should be all right. Oh,
Look just marks himself yet. Oh yeah, until there's explosives under it.
Looks to the camera.
You said the chains extended themselves from the sconces on the wall?
Yes.
Are there glyphs on the sconces? Or words?
Would you like to go examine them?
Yeah.
Sure. Go do that. In the meantime, Mallory,
At this-
you are left with what looks to be almost a sunburn impression on your kind of a manacle shaped tan on your wrists.
Oh god.
Thank you, Cam. Hank. Yes. That said, though, you feel kind of warm. Also, feels like after that the darkness in here kind of dissipated a little bit more than before. It seems brighter in here.
right. Just, I'm still gonna sit.
The throne is pleasantly warm while you
good.
are sitting there with menacing skulls sitting above your head.
Yeah, let's see. Where's
Soft mellow
like-
music playing in the distance.
It's like, you know, when you're a kid and you're in like some indoor place that has air conditioning, and then you were sitting in a chair and you have your mom or your dad or an adult that you know sitting next to you in a separate chair, and then they get up to do something, and then you sit in their chair and it's nice and warm, and it's warmer than the one you were in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, if you would like to inspect the lantern or sconce, give me a perception.
Okay. I'm using also read magic if that helps or is applicable.
Read magic will help you if you find any magical script.
Okay. 1 moment.
Read magic is for understanding magical script like scrolls and glyphs and runes and things like that.
Oh.
It's also very important for being able to decipher this layered script.
Hey, 25.
25. Very nice. So, examining the sconces themselves, you find that they don't flicker with actual fire. The fire itself is magical in nature. Positioned within what look to be finely carved gemstones that don't just emanate this light. The gemstones themselves are inscribed with runic symbology, that same overlapping script as before. And reading it, it seems like the comprehend languages spell has run out by this point, as it doesn't jump out to you. Read magic would help, but it wouldn't help you understand it, unfortunately.
Fair.
Because they're written in a language that you do not natively understand. So you could potentially, with the use of read magic, break this down, but you'd be left with a bunch of symbols you don't understand. That you could potentially use to learn the language. But these gems, you're fairly certain, are the source of this binding spell. You remember that previously in the Troglodyte Warren, it was sort of a python with a chain link that was enchanted with runes. So it seems there's various ways of making this binding work. This seems a bit more sophisticated.
Right.
You'd have to imagine it would have to be so in order to bind one of these shadow lords.
So I'm to presume then that when it was judging Mallory, it was judging to see if Mallory had the presence of that shadowy essence,
Perhaps.
but he didn't. So
You do know that
Like,
a
let
lot
him
of
go?
binding spells work off of specific creature types. And if a creature is not of that
Ah.
type, it won't bind them, or it will have great difficulty doing so.
That's fair.
It would, given the fact that it did not, in fact, Mallory is quite literally the opposite of that creature in many respects. It may have attached to him, seen he was not the type of creature that it should be binding, and seeing that, released him. The criteria may be for outsiders from the plane of shadow. It might be specifically for Nihiloi. I think one thing that could easily become one thing that could easily come to as a conclusion is that Vark should never sit on this chair.
Yeah,
That's
that's very
fair.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Although I wonder if we all sat in it, except for Vark, if the room would continue to brighten. But then again, there's not much use in that. I don't think this room is going to be used anymore.
It'd be like turning the bloom slider all the way to 100.
Okay. Vark, did you recognize that the tall one, the king that was here before?
Don't. Oh, the Singer King.
Well,
If you need to name it, then call it by its species name. It was a Nihiloi,
right.
but it doesn't deserve that moniker. I've only seen one king so far in person. Guillermo. And Karia, of course, has aspirations.
Yes.
Stares vacantly into the open space.
Yeah.
Yes, I am king.
Drool forming down
I
his
just
forming.
can't
Drools in a
wait
kingly
to-
fashion. Drools regally.
Stands kingly.
Kings moderately.
No, not Karya.
Um, true.
Karya would not
Largely.
king moderately.
Yeah, that's very true. The Nihiloi. If you weren't aware of it yet, I vaguely remember shouting quite a couple of things during the battle. I apologize. It was unbecoming of me.
I mean, at the same
They've
time, I don't blame
enslaved.
you.
Fair enough. The Nihiloi have enslaved and subsumed the species of the plane of shadow, my home, for countless of years, generations. I cannot think of a time where they were not the rulers, I suppose. So they were nothing but tyrants. I been all up for them. So I don't like admitting to enjoying bloodshed. I'm happy to have taken one of them down.
I'm
To call
assuming he is. I'm assuming he just went back to the plane of shadow, though.
somehow I doubt that.
Oh, you think you actually killed him? Killed him? Well, that's good.
Not
Here's
me.
here's actually something I'd like to propose. If that's in question, somebody could roll a knowledge to try and determine how true that might be.
No, true. True.
Knowledge like planes, I take it.
I'd say so.
Yeah, plain rolling. What I had
I'll-
together.
I'll
Scholars unite!
Fortunately, what's it called? Roll 20 does not like it when I interact with my sheet, so
Yeah.
we'll fix that at some point.
I was hoping the switch to jump gate would help with that, but it seems it's just inherent to roll 20. I think it's a memory issue on like a desync from one side to the other.
Hey.
Thanks.
I'm
Ooh.
thinking so too, because sometimes it works fine.
Yeah, 'cause,
Really, it
like,
does.
I'm
Other
accessing your
times,
sheet and it's all still stored there. But I guess when you're accessing it, there's like a conflicting memory on your side. The data stored on your side conflicts with what's stored on the website. I don't know. Anyway, so Kanabos, that's a effective +4 to your knowledge planes, correct, Kanabos?
Yes, that was already added into the roll up.
Okay.
So,
You are also dazed after that.
Yep.
It could just overload your brain with knowledge for a split second.
yeah, that's why I usually use it out of combat, so I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. So, Vark gets a 22. Kanabos gets an 18. Mallory gets a 26, sitting all the way over on the throne.
It's a comfy throne.
Yeah.
it's the think chair.
Yes. In Kanabos, you're unsure. You've never run into one of these creatures from the plane of shadow. It's not your specialty. You're more of a undead and phantasm kind of guy.
The double is the better.
Most
And
outsiders tend to be sent back to their home plane when they're killed, no matter what means through which they're killed, unless it's very specific methods used to ensure that they die properly. Normally, if you want to kill an outside creature, you need to kill it on its home plane. For outsiders, not so much. What am I talking about? The circumstances here were different, and you're not an expert on shadow stuff. Vark would definitely be more of the expert. Mallory himself is not terribly well studied on matters of the plane of shadow either. Not to the first-hand knowledge that Vark has, and not in the scholarly way that a lot of people tend to be. But Vark, you know for a fact that you blasted that guy to pieces with pure light, which by all definition is the antithesis to him, and if anything would expunge a creature of pure darkness, it is pure light. Mallory comes to the conclusion through careful consideration, and also with the newfound knowledge that there was binding magic at play here, as much was more or less said by the Nihiloi himself. As it was bound to this room, its very essence and soul, if it died, it would not return to the plane of shadow. It would more than likely reconstitute in this room.
get fucked.
But given the fact that it got decimated so thoroughly with its inimicable weakness, ended up dispersing and destroying it so thoroughly that it could not even reconstitute itself or retreat into its bound object. So Mallory is fairly certain that you roasted that fucker what good. That guy is not going back to the plane of shadow. In fact, he's not coming back at all. Especially after you undid the binding, which removed its locus point it would be able to reconstitute itself at. If there was something left of him, it would return to the plane of shadow, but probably only as motes of darkness, not anything with any sort of identity or soul.
Blimey, you fucking erased him.
Long live the fucking king.
What can I say? 6 foot on us.
Kari, I better
That being
watch out.
said,
We got a regicidal maniac.
That being said, Vac, you have a fair point. Being someone who's got a because at the final blow like that, it's not pleasant, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's kind of a harsh reality, I mean, I just say this because career soldier and all that, or more mercenary, I suppose. But yeah, no, it ain't pretty. So I don't blame you there.
So, you're left here with a disenchanted reliquary, a throne made to bind creatures of shadow, and a very singed meatball, kind of nursing his smoking nose outside the doorway.
Meatball.
You still
Hey,
smelling
don't be mean to that guy. I said he looked like you. He reminded me of you. Don't be mean to him.
I'll have you know that he is called Meatball.
That's actually his name?
Well, he can't remember his name, but people are calling him Meatball for the time being, because that's what the snail called him.
See, my bad. You do.
Yeah, he also got hit directly in the face with a lightning bolt from the shadow creature, which, since you weren't there to see it, I'll throw it up on screen real quick so you can see it.
Oh god, he's back.
All right.
Oh!
Oh!
That's what they faced.
Yes, I think when it first appeared, I kind of exclaimed, "Holy Dark Lord, Batman!"
Well, let's call him an Edgelord.
Because that's some Dark Lord shit right there.
Yep, I mean, quite literally. Yes.
Yeah.
The room itself is still dark. The seep of shadow is still very much embedded in the stone here. You've got lit candles, sconces burning with blue fire in the corners. What look to be coffins of sorts, bedecked in lit candles. And to the north, a set of stone doors.
I won't lie. For the moment, I'm not touching my character. I'm not touching Roll20 that much because just by moving my character tokens, it was like, nah.
Do you by any chance check if you have hardware acceleration turned off
I
in your browser?
should it be off? Cause I turned it on.
It should be on, because if it's
Yeah,
not, my Roll20 lacks severely.
Yeah, no, mine's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have
I
extensions?
said sometime. Nope. Normal old Google.
Password
Normal old
manager?
Chrome. No.
Okay.
Listen, all I'm going to say is sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. It'll probably work tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Here's hoping. For the time being, we'll leave it alone, not agitate it.
It's Gary's revenge, bro. I knew it.
It's the curse
Don't
of
bring that
Gary.
name here. We don't bring that name here.
Yeah, it's like for for
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
Jules,
they're bullying me.
it's like
They're bullying me.
It's like invoking Hammurabi in
I can't
Place that shall
breathe.
not be named.
The name that shall not be named.
So
it's
yes,
like it's like
Can't
invoking
breathe.
fucking
Anyone else know
Pharaoh's
how to breathe?
curse.
welcome back, June. So,
Hello.
as said before, you got a smoking meatball, you got a shadowy chamber, got a throne for binding shadow creatures, a disenchanted reliquary, and a set of doors to the north.
What flavor are the doors?
Stone flavor.
Good.
Would you like to go up and lick them?
No.
Probably a good idea.
It has the strangest flavor of calcite.
With a hint of...
Yeah, it's probably
is
fine.
that pewter? Yes.
Yes. Oh, I can feel the lead poisoning already.
Heavy metals.
Yeah.
Heavy metals.
Heavy metal music starts playing. Very distorted heavy metal music.
I mean, Chaiko's over there. She's basically always riffing to ride the lightning.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. That's
So,
why I get meter.
Flick's actually going to call over to a meatball and say, "You doing all right over there?"
You bring up one of his tentacles in like a mock of a thumbs up. I found more lucid
You
than
said-
ever.
Oh, good.
Gotcha. You said this was a treasure room, yeah?
I mean, when they told me about it, they said there was something very valuable.
Did they ever tell you where it was specifically?
Nope. I was told to guard the door.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, they might have
I
just
love
been
meatball.
referring to.
To be fair,
Meatball is
Even
the best.
Meatball did not always sound like that. He sounds like that now because he got zapped in the nose.
Oh
I
no!
love meatball.
I love
Heal
meatball.
Meatball. Someone heal Meatball right now.
I'm all out of them. Not really, but I'm not gonna use it on meatball. He's fine. Anyways, so I was gonna say, you know, they might have when they were saying there was something valuable, they might have just been referring to the reliquary. I mean, that's pretty valuable, just not monetarily valuable. Or whatever's in that door.
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hello, quiet friend.
Is Vark gonna
I
smooch him?
figured it would slowly turn towards the room. Stares
One
her
of-
down as he uncorks a bottle.
One tentacle goes to another. Well, another tentacle comes up to Meatball's face as he kind of bashfully, sort of fans himself. And says, I've never had a kiss before.
I'm sure you will have one eventually, but it will not be from me. I want to thank you for your assistance, and I figured I'd repay you in kind.
Yeah, said
And
assistance
with
there.
that,
There is
of
still a
course,
pile
punch
of broken glass and like spilled
Yeah.
potions all over the floor.
Realistically speaking, without that healing he did, I actually don't think I would have survived, or at least not been able to withstand the last attack from the Needler without falling unconscious. So, Vark will spend actually the entirety of his level 1 spell slots to quote unquote cast Cure Light Wounds. So I
Aw.
will
Through a kiss.
Well,
thank
Because
you
it's a
very
touch
much.
spell.
I will
It's
cast
bad. You
5d8.
guys are my friends. And, well, you guys are already in the room. You're past the door. I can't go through the door, but you're already in there. So, you know.
Oh.
Well, not much use guarding anymore.
Right.
We're gonna end
These
up
are
going.
Holy
great.
shit.
That is 5 potions of Cloud Wounds.
That will absolutely heal him all the way to full. With some extra, actually. As you see the rubbery green flesh heal, fall away, and then fresh new flesh form in. The smoking from his nostrils stops. He pats at it for a second, goes, "Oh wow, that feels a lot better." He kind of brings two tentacles around to wrap around Vark, cradles him like a baby, and says, "You're the best friend."
Thank you. I'm
Hey.
glad you're better.
And then he, what do you call it? He for a second goes, "I got some just for you," and then kind of swings around, brachiates from stalactite to stalactite. Where is it? It's in here. It's no.
I was about to just start digging around in his folds.
No, but digging around in little hidey holes and nooks in the campsite that he seems to have all over the place. One tentacle dives underneath the table where the apples were. Kind of roots around underneath where the feet meet the ground, and then brings it up. And then there's another shiny blood red apple that he then goes, "Here, catch," and then throws it at you.
He immediately throws his hands up. The last ball in his hands shatters to the ground as he lets go of it.
Yep. With a satisfying, the perfectly ripe apple slaps against the palm of your hand, landing in your hand. Looks and crannies of the meatball. Please don't make this weird. I know, forget it. It's already weird. So yes, you're holding a ripe-looking, crispy, juicy apple.
Was it the sleep apple?
Looks similar, but not the same. Found that while on a tree that grows down here, like in the tunnels around here. Got off this real pale-looking fellow. He's a really nice guy, gardener apparently. A bit toothsome, but not quite like me. But he's a real dour fellow. But he really likes his apples.
That's so.
Hmm?
As he, lowers his hands and just stares at the apple. I've been over Vark's specific love for apples and the reason for it before. So the vibrant color of this apple is in fact causing him to obsessively stare in a sense.
Yeah.
Mystified by the apple.
Yeah. That one's special apparently. Take a bite. Go ahead.
Don't have to tell me twice. With a hefty cut chunk of the apple meat splitting from the rest. Takes a bite of it.
Okay. So you split it in half like before. Yeah, you take a bite. Do you do the thing where you split the apple in half, or do you just take a bite out of the whole thing?
Just a bite immediately.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, the guy had an interesting name. I can't quite remember what it was. As Vark, you are hit with the effects of the heal spell.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
That's powerful.
Which
Wait.
expunges almost all conditions and heals you technically 10 HP per caster level, up to a maximum of 150 HP.
I was gonna say, yeah, it goes for a lot, yeah.
You are healed
to a lot.
immediately to full, and all conditions you have on, including the after effects, like the remaining after effects of that drug you imbibed during the trial of sacrifice, are immediately just mellowed out of your system.
Wait, so is every apple different?
I mean, maybe. You ask Meatball?
Yes.
Okay. Bark's childhood
Meatball.
name was Ryuk. Please no. He ain't no
Oh.
Shinigami.
Oh no.
So you asked No, his name's Light. Anyway.
Not dark.
But
My-
Oh my god!
My
Wait,
my name is Light
Dark?
Yagami. I am beloved.
it's because he shoots light out of his body. But yes,
I am Kira.
you ask Meatball, what exactly?
Meatball, are all the apples different? Because the one I took put me to sleep.
Oh yeah, like that guy, he grows like a bunch of apples. I grab some on occasion. I ask him for them, or I make a trade or something. He's not always the nicest guy, but he's perfectly happy to trade. Sometimes he lets me have them for free, and I bring them here for my guests.
Do you remember
Wouldn't it be
which apples
possible-
do what?
Oh, no, not really. I don't tend to eat them myself. I don't really have much of a taste for them, and besides which, well, it would be kind of rude to eat those. You never know when a guest is going to come by. I know that those came off different trees. That one came from his prize tree. That was the big one that was growing at the center of his orchard.
And that orchard is here?
Here? No, it's like, I mean, it's somewhere here in the underground.
I would like to meet this person.
Yes.
I mean, you could at some point if you want. It's a bit of a trek. Yeah, you guys said you had to be somewhere. I don't know, like, if you guys have all that much time.
Yes. We won't have the time right now.
I mean,
but-
there's always the, like, later on I could show you guys where he is, especially if things around here are going to change. It might be a bit easier to get to him, actually.
Yes, things are going to change. Definitely.
Cool. I mean, I could always, like, introduce you to him if you like. That'll probably have to happen later, though. Yeah. Plus, he doesn't really like when visitors just come unannounced. It was really persnickety the first time I dropped by. And second, and the 10th. Yeah, he warms up real slow. Yeah, but if I come by and I tell him, oh, well, I've got friends who'd like to meet you, and assuming he doesn't, like, try to strangle you with roots like he did me, I can introduce you, and maybe he'd even give you some of his apples.
Be nice. Thank you very much.
Cool. Anyway, so I'm no longer a guard. You guys can
Yes.
feel free to, like,
exactly.
loot and pillage and whatever treasure hunters do. I'm gonna go over here and make myself scarce because still feeling a little bit of that compulsion or whatever. So I'm gonna go over here and, like, snack on some dark mantles maybe.
It tastes good.
How to put this? You ever, like, chewed boot leather?
No.
It's like that, but sour and kind of squishy. I really like it. You can really rip a piece off.
There's such thing as calamari in the papacy.
Maybe in some places in the surrounding states, maybe like the coastal areas, they might have had things like that.
Pretty like octopus dish because that's the closest thing I can think of that compare.
I mean,
this,
yeah.
like, with these-
Like
Yeah.
fairly undercooked octopus would definitely fit the rubbery kind of consistency he's describing. But yeah, squishy, leathery, rip a piece off. Really helps me keep my teeth down. Anyway,
How does that?
have
do
fun
those
looting.
just continue on? Oh, okay.
Bye bye.
Oh yeah, then. You take care.
And with that, you're
Yeah,
left in the crypt.
for the longest time, I genuinely thought that there was something bad about to happen. But well, good to see that not all things are as they pay.
Yes, Mark, you're left with an apple with a bite taken out of it. One that apparently, when you take a bite out of it, heals all of your wounds instantaneously and flushes all negative
Yeah.
effects out of you.
Yeah, I'm savoring this one. I'm going to wrap it
It tastes
in
like
cloth.
it tastes like your master on previous occasions had attempted to, and sometimes to some success, tried to synthesize what was referred to as ambrosia in alchemy. This probably doesn't taste quite like it, but it's up there. It's delicious, juicy,
Yeah.
and just tastes like goodness.
I'm gonna wrap it in cloth. I'm going to then tie the cloth with a knot. Put that bundle into a bag meant for reagents. Seal that bag, and I will then proceed to put that bag into the bag of holding, with where there's no air, so it can't spoil.
Very good.
Hopefully.
And as you pack that away, you hear somewhere in the distant caves the sound of
Yeah.
someone else is savoring his meal.
Yep.
So, how do we carry on?
Well, I wanted to ask, these curved features here, are these stairs going up and down?
Stairs leading up to this
Right.
raised platform.
Oh, okay. I thought they were stairs going like up to the top level.
No. They raise
Well-
up to this platform here.
No.
Oh. All right. Well, is
Approach
the
the stone.
door?
Yeah, you approach the
let's-
stone doors. Are you going to lick them?
No.
Okay.
Man, you're no fun, Jack.
Oh, you
These
can lick them if you want.
seem to be made. The walls themselves are granite brick, and the doors themselves seem to be made of smooth granite. The only imperfection is an indent where you might slip your hand into and pull.
I sniff the door. No, I'm kidding.
I
Unless.
sniffed the door.
Unless.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, that's fair. Is there smell emanating from the other side of them or a sound?
Good question. Give me a perception.
Just to be safe.
I should sniff.
Checking
So,
for
yeah,
smells,
perception.
not checking for traps. Checking for smells.
Well, in the trap-like sense.
In a trap-like sense, you say. How does one smell in a trap-like sense?
I guess
Well,
if you're trying to
know,
smell like
if
a
I
weird
smell
gas, it's
blood,
fun.
or if I smell a deadly gas, yeah, on the other
Okay.
side.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Or if
Flick gets a
damn.
14. June gets Sarah gets a 7. Siren, you bring your nose up to the door. Take a deep breath and sneeze. Flick,
So, what are you doing,
Yeah.
Siri?
Flick, Flick. As you take a sniff around the door, it smells like must and dust and just crypt smell, really. And then as you're like concentrating in on the door, you're then shocked out of your concentration by the high-pitched sound of Siren explosively sneezing out a nose full of dust.
Bless you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, so smells pretty cryptic to me.
I just push open the doors.
Okay. Putting a bit of force into it, it's nowhere as resistant as the massive doors that kept this place shut. Takes a bit of work, but you push the doors open with a heave. Revealing It looks to be some form of storage room.
Oh. Would everyone like to take a look?
Just don't get us cursed.
We'll try not to. Well, let's have a look inside then.
Okay. Stepping in. One moment.
Oh,
Huh.
I just realized
I-
what you were doing. I was on the
Hmm.
outside.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are those
Yep.
enemies?
Mysterious cubes.
Wait. 1 second.
Suspiciously shaped skeletons.
Yes. As you step in,
I thought it was about to be some Evangelion stuff. We just walk into this room, we just see ominous white cubes.
that or Tang. You can look if you want. You can leave the wall. You can lick if you want to. You can leave the wall behind. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Cam.
Not the orange cider.
As you step in, well, as you push the doors open, a wave of dust washes over you. An age-old room kept shut. The dust, you know, collects only if there are things that turn to particulates, things like bodies. Dust only tends to collect in places where there are people. So a room kept shut for this long should not have dust that comes blowing out like that. That's your first warning sign. The smell of old decay, not rot, not putrefaction. Instead, it's ossification, dust, things where even the decomposers have long died off. Smell of mildew and mold and bone grit passes by you. A feeling of slightly warm air waving over you out to equalize with the larger chamber. And the smell of old pottery, stonework, and then settles down. You have to shield your eyes and your mouth for a moment, waving off the dust, coughing a little bit out of it that gets in your mouth. And once you're able to look inside the unlit storage room, you see sarcophagi stored under shelves. And on the shelves themselves, you see pottery and old storage chests. This, however, is the most mundane of it. In several places of the room, you see signs of struggle, or not even quite combat. Here, you see what looks to be the skeletal remains of something with a serpentine or lizard-like head. It's large, broad-shouldered, and the skeleton itself is barely kept together by the suit of metallic armor that contains it. The ligaments have long rotted away, things like the hands and the feet have fallen away. Even the forearms have clattered out of the sleeves. What's left is okay. Second. Yes. What actually what's left of it, its body contained by this what looks to be finely made and still intact metal armor. Its head, however, its skeletal dragon-like head, is no longer on the body. Instead, it is mounted on what seems to be the jagged, half-melted remains of an idol of sort, a draconic idol. Perhaps in gesture of mockery. Perhaps of veneration. To the side still is a pile of ash beneath a bare and empty wall. Many of the walls here seem to have metal hooks and clasps where decorations once hung, but now there's nothing but ash on the floor. All around there are cracked pots, broken masonry, with ruined shards scattered all over the place. And the shelves themselves, previously what must have been end-to-end shoved full with items, are now dashed, destroyed, burnt, and melted. And all across the floor are more of those pots, the vast majority of them shattered and destroyed. Welcome in. Also, yes, so. Additionally, around, not just the dragon-like humanoid, there are smaller, slimmer-looking skeletons scattered to pieces, destroyed, in some case pulverized.
Cannabis, we might need you here.
Cannabis is currently unavailable. Please try again later.
Damn it.
He must be
Oh,
enjoying
I-
his, he must be
I
enjoying his
forgot.
eggplant parm.
Oh yeah.
You
I
did
have
mention
Speak with
that,
Dead
yeah?
too, but
You have
I didn't
prepared?
prepare Speak with Dead today.
Sorry, I'm here 1 second.
The three of them have found a storage room with what looks to be a lot of destroyed artifacts and skeletal remains.
All right, we want to talk to one of them. Yes.
Preferably, yes.
Which one are we looking to talk with today?
I think probably the half dragon.
And Ray's gonna be sad he missed this.
Oh no.
All right, who's gonna describe this moment to Matt so he has it, just so he knows what happened?
I can.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, that's what if people were more interested in the half dragon. I will expend the use of my special trait to essentially to cast do cast. Sorry, say again?
Say, does cast speak with them?
Yes. I can't spell her.
Oh boy. Okay. So we've gone over this before. You grant a semblance of life to a corpse, allowing it to answer questions. You may ask one question per 2 caster levels, which is 4. Corpse's knowledge is limited to what it knew in life during life, what it knew during life, including language it spoke. Answers are brief, cryptic, or repetitive, especially if the creature would have opposed you in life. If the dead creature's alignment was different from yours, the corpse gets a will save to resist the spell as if it were alive. Successful, the corpse can refuse it. If a corpse has been subject to speak within the past week, the new spell fails. You can cast a spell on a corpse that has been deceased for any amount of time, but the body must be mostly intact to be able to respond. A damaged corpse may be able to give partial answers or partially correct answers, but it must at least have a mouth to speak in order to speak at all. The spell does not affect a corpse that has been turned into an undead creature. Also, something to note that I did not previously note is that it has what looks to be some sort of stone hatchet buried in its chest.
Okay.
Wonder what we're knowing here.
Yes. Now, here's the thing.
I like to jump in real quick.
Mhm.
I like to jump in real quick and add a statement. But I love the visual idea going to a bunch of corpses and going, yeah, this bag of bones looks more talkable than this one.
Yeah. So that said, as a reminder, this half-dragon corpse, its head is currently not attached to its skeleton.
I mean, the ghost won't care, right?
The spell does stipulate they need a mouth to speak.
Tomato. I'm kidding. Um, I'm sorry. I shouldn't disrespect the dead like this.
The ghost starts doing like fucking talking with his mouth, or not mouth with his hand.
Oh, you should say that. Its hands also have fallen off.
If you don't mind, can you describe how many bodies are there again? Four bodies that I can make out on the map. Describe the state there and again.
So, the smaller bodies, which themselves seem to have no trace of any sort of clothing or even armor, are decimated. Some are pulverized, some are half melted. All of them are very, very dead. The half dragon, or that's what Saren assumes it to be, is slumped up against what looks to be one of those vault containers with a hatchet made of stone and bone buried in its chest. And the one thing keeping the body in a semi-together state is the finely made metallic armor that it was wearing, apparently, when it died. The skull, the hands and feet have fallen off because there are no more ligaments to keep them in place. Even the forearms have half slipped out of the sleeves. Its skull, however, is conspicuously absent, and just a bit to the side, there looks to be the remains of a draconic idol of some sort that has been shattered and melted, and the head mounted on it.
I hadn't heard that part. Shit. Okay, no, that's actually.
It's metal.
I'm going to very carefully raise the skull of the draconic entity.
Okay? I'm gonna kind of
Just to
slowly
remove
pick
it
it up.
from the molten, just to remove it from the molten remains of the idol.
Mm. Okay.
Can this be mended? I look over my shoulder towards Siren, mostly in this case.
I assume this would be a case more for. Isn't there a greater mending?
In this case,
Um,
mending and greater mending would not be what you would go to. Not only would it take forever, but you'd be fixing little bits and pieces one at a time.
yeah.
There is, however, a first level spell that is specifically for things like this. And that is the spell called Restore Corpse.
Oh, right. For first level. So, given that knowledge, she would say, yes, there is, but it would involve us resting here, or perhaps upstairs, because I wasn't expecting to have to do this today.
I think it's a good idea if we try to talk to any of these. Maybe it endears us to them.
It's funny to me that the spiritualist does not get Restore Corpse. I guess its initial purpose was to just turn something that would be raised from a skeleton into a zombie.
Hmm.
That was the initial intention of it. Not for Speak with Dead, though it would be perfect for allowing you to speak with a corpse that had otherwise been completely skeletonized. But yes. Unfortunately, it seems like if you were to try and speak to this, even if you were to just put the skull back on the body, it would be like speaking to that skeleton way back, like previously, that kind of was trying to speak to. You wouldn't get very much good information out of it.
Okay.
Still attempt it. Your odds of getting something useful out of it are much slimmer than if this was a whole corpse. This thing looks like it's been dead for a very long time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If I think we can assume that they are from the age of that empire, and we approximately know how long ago that was.
There are a lot of things around this room that you could potentially examine to get an idea. Not to mention, you could examine the make of the armor that the thing is wearing. There's all kinds of things that can tell a story that the corpse might not be able to tell you directly.
Let me just get my carbon dating kit out real quick.
Kanabos just reaches in one of his pockets and just pulls out a whole chemistry kit.
Since sunlight hasn't touched us in millennia, well, the best.
Actually, no. Kanabos just like stands stock still and just starts staring at the ceiling.
Yeah.
While muttering to himself, let's see this. This live rock seems to be about this many years old. This room seems to be set in this. He just starts muttering to himself.
Okay, but yeah. In all seriousness, though, is there another, a better preserved skeleton
No,
here, or are they
the other
all
ones
about
are
the
even
same?
worse.
Oh. I mean, we could do this, but I'm afraid we won't get much information.
Like I said, if we want to rest and perhaps do this the following morning, that's entirely possible.
I can do. Oh, I mean, I can do that. We have Meatball's little camp outside.
Yes.
We could.
other than the corpses, and forgive me if this was mentioned already, is there anything else of significance, like really any treasure or scrolls or books?
Well, a lot of this seems to be decimated. Somebody came in here and wrecked the place. Things have been
Right.
burned to
So,
ash. Pottery has been shattered.
uh,
Shelves have been destroyed, and all kinds of havoc has been wrought. That said, you haven't had a proper look around yet. This is just eye shot upon walking in.
yeah, I was gonna say, could I roll to possibly try and find something that wasn't destroyed?
You may absolutely do so if you want to dig through the wreckage and try to find something useful. That would be a perception check.
Yeah, I will guidance myself. Or anyone else who has higher perception.
I
I
can
mean,
help.
I can do it if Siren is like trying to actually makes this known. Yeah, sure, I can do it.
It is loot goblin time.
Yeah, well, in that case, if Cannibals is gonna do the main role, then Siren, can I aid and guidance him?
Yes, you can.
I will
Nice,
also
I'll try
help.
that.
Okay.
What do my special eyes see today?
Unfortunately, Siren is not helpful.
Oh,
She's,
my God.
unfortunately, Siren is still sneezing like hell and is only distracting. However, Kanabos rolls a nat 20.
I've got dust in my eyes.
I'm giving you the +1 anyway. Crank that shit up.
Yep, you got a +2 from Vark. No, sorry, that was previous perception roll. +2 from Flick.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Siren is over there, apparently with an previously unknown dust allergy. I'm just gonna roll that Siren, like when she's in like really dusty, musty old places, gets her eyes start to swell up and her lungs start to get a constrictive.
She starts to get stuffy.
Yeah, which is accurate to real life.
Oh, fair. Let's see.
Like a board on like the pedestal and Siren sees on it and it turns into dust immediately.
Oh no. Oh, Mallory is approaching. Assuming because Jules
A
said
lot
that
he coming.
his roll 20 is
Sounds
also
vaguely threatening.
Jules, are you there as well? I know your roll 20 is persnickety at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Okay. You're also going to be there to
witness the
ransacking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very good. I'm going to assume that Kit is kind of holding behind while Chico is actually going in there and picking through the remains.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. So Kanabos and the group as a whole, with Kanabos kind of taking the lead on it. The group as a whole pick through the destroyed remnants. The destroyed remnants of what had to be a sort of relic storage. This is as much cultural and historical artifacts that were here once upon a time to preserve what came before the big war, as was also a place for memorabilia of those that fell. The pieces and the shards of pottery once told a story, but they're so ruined and scattered that even if you were able to piece them together, you might not be able to get anything coherent. Some of it is ground to dust, others are blasted to pieces. Uh, One second. Cam, real quick, since I know you're there. Just waiting for the response. Cam, about that tablet, did you make an entry for it?
So, Cosmos, what do you feed everything?
Oh, sorry. The tablet from before, the one we talked about. Um, did you end up making that? Did you end up making an entry for it? In the meantime, ah, okay. Well, we got a little bit of time if you want to make that. I was just fly. I don't even know need like a proper stat block for that. Anyway, so sifting through and taking a look at things. Well, the first obvious bit of, I suppose, treasure is to do with the half-dragon body. The armor it's clad in is beautifully made. There's no two ways about it. The pattern is strange, and the material is stranger. The the pattern on the armor itself, to an untrained eye, almost looks like an odd form of scale mail, or perhaps a pattern that almost resembles caltrops. The armor itself is tarnished with age and stained with ash. And close inspection shows that it is made up of hundreds of tiny interlocking plates. It's riveted into a thick leather backing of material you don't know that is cracked and blackened. To the touch, it is pleasantly cool, and if you were to wear it, would fit snugly around your torso, shoulders, and thighs. Sort of like a mail coat. It would require an appraisal to potentially find out what this thing is made of. And then spellcraft to see if it has any magic on it. There's also the hatchet, made of stone and bone that somehow still managed to cut through the armor. There's not much to say about it. It looks like something's femur with a wedge of flint or stone of some sort cracked into it and then held in place by sinew. But somehow it managed to thank you. Somehow managed to cleave through the finely worked metallic materials of the armor. So there's something off about that hatchet. Next, you sift through the piles of ash and what must have previously been tapestries and portraits and paintings and other artistic depictions of the past destroyed, perhaps even clothing or articles of fashion. Among what are crumpled, lying crumpled among the piles of rotted ruined cloth and ancient ash, you find a single dirty length of threadbare tapestry. It bears a faded image of a red draconic figure descending from the sky towards what looks to be a gathering of humanoids with long, pale hair reaching up towards it. Even just looking at this worn tapestry instills a sense of awe. Somebody taking these down?
Oh, can you send those again?
I can't just send them. I am describing them.
Here, so
DM, can you give us your note? Can you give us your
No.
brain?
Hell no.
well, hold on. There was a tapestry depicting. I'm just gonna put them in the simple path channel in order,
Mhm.
or in reverse order, I suppose.
Yes. So far you have a worn tapestry. You have a suspicious stone hatchet that was able to cleave through armor. And that same set of armor, made of finely made interlocking plates, that is tarnished with age and stained with ash. And the leather that is made of is cracked and blackened as well.
Okay.
Well, among the pottery, broken and shattered on the ground, among cracked and broken pots in the corners of the rooms, most of it's been reduced to shards, with only a few intact pieces and a few odd rocks among them. This pottery, some of the stuff you're able to sift out of the dust and ash, still has some symbology on them, some pictographs and scenes depicted, and that are whole enough to be of some worth. You could potentially bring these to a collector to sell. Among the shattered pottery, you also find what looks to be a dark bottle, and 3 of those rocks which stand out. They're not just stones, they look to be inscribed with some of those runes, though these ones are different. They don't resemble the old elvish runes, they resemble more the draconic runes that you've noticed on the walls here. The bottle itself, the dark bottle, seems to be crafted from some sort of dark ebony glass. Kanabos, being the one leading the charge and being something of an intellectual himself, among the shelves finds among some of the ash-covered and ruined shelves, finds a small compartment that, with some finagling, pops open with a hidden latch. Sliding the compartment open, you find a few items inside. What looks to be
A few emeralds.
Hmm?
A few what? Sorry.
a few items.
Oh, I thought you said a few emeralds. I was like, what?
No,
Huh?
a few items.
Okay. Cool.
They're small in size. Obviously, the hidden shelf itself, or hidden drawer, is small, almost impossible to see under the ash dust and the shade that the shelf throws. If you hadn't been looking for something, you might have passed it over entirely. The shelf contains what looks to be some sort of corked clay jar with bright pigmentation on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
A pair of disjointed spectacles that look to be monocles joined together by a chain. And some sort of clay cylinder.
We should probably get all this inspected first, like more thoroughly. But Mallory, if this ends up being safe, I found you a new pair of monocles, or a new monocle.
As Mallory, with his 5 pairs of glasses he wears all at once.
Exactly. Mallory. Lid. She is not here.
Did.
Dead
Oh.
on the throne.
Dead.
Dibbed. D-E-B-D. Dibbed.
Okay. People still taking notes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Actually, June, are you the one writing all this down?
Yes. Although I am dealing with a lot of things all at once, so
Somebody else wants
aside from what I wrote in the Pathfinder channel, I would appreciate if someone else took over after the cracked black leather.
I will say the cracked black leather belongs to the armor.
Oh,
Jake, you're writing this down?
Actually, no. I had to step away for a.
Somebody, for the love of God,
put it in the chat.
take notes.
Somebody.
Could someone take notes for me right now? But could you just
All right, I'll crack my knuckles at this.
I was about to say, Vera, are you taking notes?
I was not, but I can take over if you want to.
As long as
Your notes
somebody,
will probably be
as long
10
as
times
somebody
more
is,
than
as
mine.
long as somebody's keeping a vague list of the items that are appearing, like I can then use that as a reference for what you guys want to inspect.
Following up, with the armor. What comes next?
Okay. There's
At the tapestry?
the tapestry.
They have
That's been listed.
Mhm.
There's the ruined pottery that could be sold to a collector. It's some of it. You managed to find some shards that are whole enough that could be sold to archaeologists, for instance. You found 3 odd-looking rocks with draconic runes on them.
Huh?
And a dark bottle made of some sort of ebony glass.
Does it seem to have any contents?
If you pick up the bottle, it seems to slosh with something.
Um, Holding it and kind of sloshing it around. Can I tell if the glass or whatever material it is, if that itself is ebony, or if the liquid inside has stained the material?
You don't see
Ebony.
any sort of lit movement inside the glass. It is almost entirely opaque.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Inside the hidden compartment, and on a shelf, which is otherwise scattered with things so ruined you could neither identify nor repair them. In the little shelf, hidden by a hidden catch, you find what look to be a pair of spectacles or monocles linked together by a chain.
Huh?
What looks to be a clay pot of some sort, colored with a colorful pigment on the outside, and some sort of clay cylinder.
When you say cylinder, does it have that? Does it have a lid or something like that, like the pot, for example, or is it just one unit of clay?
It looks like to be more than just a cylinder of clay. It does have, it's worn and smooth to the touch, but there looks to be some sort of old pattern, damaged and worn away, but there.
Pattern etched in most of it.
The cylinder itself is roughly about the length of your hand.
palm or the entire hand?
The entire hand.
Okay. Spectacle, clay pot with pink pigment, and the clay cylinder. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. Would I be able to make perhaps a craft alchemy check to
You could.
determine what
In a
the
minute.
pigment is? Yes. Go on.
Next, it would be Chico who would find this. There's a small clay case lying on the floor, cracked open and scorched. The majority of its contents are destroyed. Almost,
Alright.
most of them being beyond recovery. Buried under wrecked materials and more ash than you would like to get your hands into, you find a few things. You find a stone plate decorated in draconic runes and a swirling pattern. No, sorry, not draconic. Elvish runes, actually. Old Elvish runes. A swirling pattern that seems to indicate somewhere towards a blank space in the middle. Lifting that out, there looks to be a book. Old and yellowed. Just double check this. Yes, it's the remains of a large tome. What was once an
Interesting.
intricately decorated cover is now ruined and burned. If you were to even flip it open, the inside pages are almost entirely destroyed and burnt, with only the last few pages seeming to still be legible.
Well, I guess I'm looking at the last few pages then.
Yep. Also contained within, seemingly survived whatever fire it was exposed to, is a metal plate. One that you might
Is
use
this inside the book
inside the
or
book.
inside the case as well?
Inside the book.
Okay.
This metal plate is separate from the book itself. It's not attached to it in any way, but it was wedged there, possibly previously between pages.
What a strange bookmarker.
Hmm.
Yoink.
And that is the limits of what you guys find within this room. Well done.
Okay. This metal plate, as Chaiko pulled it out, any details about that?
Sorry, say again?
As a metal plate,
Metal
as
plate.
Chaiko pulls it out, anything about any details about it? Is anything? Is it just literally a blank metal sheet, or is there
It's
something on
a
it?
long, thin rectangle, seemingly inscribed with more of those draconic runes.
Okay.
There's also what looks to be a conspicuously blank space among those runes.
So essentially the same as the stone tablet.
Kind of? Not really.
Okay, just to be sure, the stone plate is decorated with elven runes and has a swirling pattern with a
Yes.
seemingly blank space in the middle.
The very
And then
middle
the metal plate
is
has
long,
draconic runes.
thin, rectangular. It has runes running down it, and then towards the end of it, there seems to be a blank space left open.
Okay.
One the dimensions of the blank plate of the metal plate is more like a ruler, whereas the stone tablet is more like an A4 sheet of paper.
Okay.
In A4 sheet.
It's the standard here.
I know.
DIN A4.
It's one of those things that it caught me off guard, and I hate that.
Okay. I posted it in the channel. Look, let's see if that is correct.
That is correct. Okay. Now you may start asking me questions about these individual items and start making checks and rolls and other such. In the meantime, if you guys want to like migrate towards the camp and start doing a rest while you inspect all of these, that is also doable. That way we can get both things moving along.
Yep.
We're trying to take advantage of the time we have.
Right.
Fair.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to go bed down at Meatball's camp, you may do so.
Bed down at Camp Meatball.
Yep. Shay Meatball.
Is he a big meatball?
He's a ball of meat, that's for sure. I am a big dragon
Gotta
guy.
move my
I
token.
eat big things and I poison myself.
By the way, if there's here at the camp any more apples,
Mhm.
I would like to take those.
Okay. There's a few more on the table.
Those technically don't really belong to you, do you?
Well,
Yeah, they really don't.
they don't, but Meatball isn't going to stay here anymore. He left. Are we just going to let these apples stay here forever?
I mean,
Meatball also said you guys could help yourselves to them.
well, in that case, I'm okay.
Actually, Vox, since you have a bag of holding, could you put these in there so they don't spoil? We could, identify what they do later, but
Yes,
I figure they may be of some use in the future.
give them to me, all of them. Now,
Hands them over.
for a brief moment, like a dragon would covet its hoard of gold. He just has a pile of apples in his arm. I'm content. And then he drops them on the bag of holding.
The orchard dragon.
I mean, I if I'm really going down the route of having Lydia be Vark's adoptive mother, then I have a very special lemon orchard to reclaim as my property.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait till Vark tastes what a lemon tastes like.
Oh gosh.
Bites into a lemon, not cuts it and like make like lemonade or anything, but just first instinct thinking
Yeah.
that it's like an apple, bites into it.
Lemon.
You'll never be the same again.
You will be lemonized.
I
Maybe
was-
all fruits. Maybe
Ah.
fruit is bad.
Looking forward to that. But yes,
Evil Vark be like, fruit may be bad.
so but I do have to wonder, is Mallory joining the rest for camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleepover in the crypt.
It's gonna be a good time. Between all of your between all of your camping supplies and the pre-existing tents, the fire, and the provisions, you guys are able to, without any interruption, and also the very effective security of having Meatball there watching over you, totally in a normal way. You guys get undisturbed 8 hours of rest.
Yay!
You can
Huzzah.
restore your spells and recover a number of HP equal to twice your level.
HP or hit dice?
HP. Hit dice are not used as a healing mechanic in Pathfinder.
Oh, so 16 only.
Yep.
Damn.
I mean, that's,
well, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. It
Really
would. I would find it a little weirder if all of your wounds instantaneously close overnight.
That'd be a funny
Well,
like that.
let's pull a Fallout and just Instant, all of it.
Cram a bunch of
Sleep-
junk
sleep.
food in your face, and immediately all your wounds close.
The Fallout and Skyrim, you know. Sleep 1 hour, bam, everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Broken limbs healed.
Immediately after we all wake up, I'm gonna just expend another burst of healing, just because I don't think that for the people that were more hurt, that 16 HP will be enough. So I'm just gonna do another of healing.
Okay, go ahead.
46.
46 plus 2 for 14 HP for everybody.
Huzzah!
Hopefully that's a little
So-
better, but yeah, let me know if anyone is still like bloodied or really bad or
I'm at
anything.
full.
Yay.
Karya gets back 28. Same for Vair. Vair is healed to full. And you're all looking a little bit better for it. So, you guys have gotten a good night's rest, especially after how exhausting that particular series of challenges followed by that fight was. You were all feeling a lot better. Well rested, well fed, well hydrated, and better armed to take on the challenges ahead.
Oh yeah.
How would you like to begin your day?
Were we heading
have
back
one.
in, or
I guess so. I mean, if we want, we
Yeah,
can
I guess,
in
because
the
we want-
apples for breakfast.
Wasn't one of the ideas just the rest so we can get new spell slots essentially?
Yeah, rest and prepare different spells like the restore corpse.
Mm-hmm. Was it specifically Siren that wanted to do that? In which case, what spell are you swapping it out for?
I'm swapping it out for one of my domain spells, Obscuring Mist. I don't think we're gonna need that
You
today.
can't swap out domain spells.
Oh, you can?
No, it's either a spell from one domain or the other. You cannot swap those out. Those slots are specifically for domain spells.
This is gonna be
Oh,
a-
okay. I think I misunderstood because when I was reading up, I misunderstood then, thinking that it said that you have domain spells, but you can swap them out for any of the other cleric spells, just as long as they're cleric spells. But so, hold on.
I don't know. I may be wrong. I can always be wrong.
Let
This
me
is gonna sound weird,
Hmm.
but is Stanislav a lawyer?
I mean, you know him to at least be bar certified.
Worse than law, yeah.
The thing is, we could kind of get the information to him if I just summon him here real quick.
That does assume he's open to summoning, because you know specifically that only vampires that make themselves available get summoned by that spell. And Stanislav is far too busy to get summoned by random yahoos.
We're not just random yahoos, we're his favorite.
You're his
Right?
favorite random yahoos.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then in that case,
Here
well,
we
I
go.
think
Each
Siren
day,
has-
a cleric can prepare one of the spells from her 2 domains in that slot.
Oh, okay. Wait, so if I have 2 domains, I can have that because I have different,
You have two
domain spells for each
domains,
domain.
as is normal
Yes.
for clerics.
Yes, which I've marked down what spells are domain spells, with that little marking where it shows a D for
Yes.
domain. Does that mean that of the 2 domains, I can only choose one series of spells?
So
Like if for first level, I have Bless and Obscuring Mist. Obscuring
Mhm.
Mist from the Domain of Dreams and Bless from the Community Domain.
yes,
Can I only have one of the two?
you can have. Let me call it. Bless is a normal cleric spell, so you can prepare that with any of your normal cleric spell slots. You
Mhm.
cannot. If you for your domain spell slot, you can prepare either Obscuring Mist or Bless in that slot.
Oh. Okay. I'll choose Bless then.
Okay.
And I have Restore Corpse, which I've swapped out. I think I had. Oh fuck, I don't remember now because I was looking at the PFSRD. I think I had. I don't remember, but I unmarked one of the non-domain ones that I had prepared and just remarked Restore
Mhm.
Corpse.
Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. All the clerical stuff sorted out. You guys are prepared to begin your day.
Yes.
So while I suppose Siren and Kanabos go off to question a body, those who want to spend the time inspecting the items you guys have procured, you may. Or those who want to join in the questioning may also do so. Who wants to do what?
I don't know.
Were we
Let's
actually wait? Were we studying the artifacts we pulled out first and then going back in, or were we going
You
back
can
in,
do
find
that.
more, and then?
I just heard nothing about wanting to examine the items yet.
Hmm.
I know Vark had a question about one of the items, but I pushed that to the side real quick to finish listing them all.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
If no one else has any specific thing right now, then I'll just pick up where I left off, and I would like to investigate the pigment. That was the first thing that had caught my attention.
Okay.
So I would like to perhaps roll a craft alchemy to see if I can figure out something about that,
Okay.
if that would be appropriate.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. Skadoosh.
Okay. Inspecting the little, make out the clay pot with the colorful markings on the outside. You examine it. The pot itself is mundane. It's corked, and popping that open reveals a technicolor swirl inside the pot itself. What looks to be thick, multi-pigmented fluid swirling around inside.
Okay.
It's some form of emulsion. For your chemical training, giving a little wiggle around and examining it, sniffing it. This is magical, not alchemical. You're very sure of this.
Type of a pigment. Multicolored magical emulsion. Okay.
Yeah. So to identify this further would require spellcraft.
Okay, I can do that.
be that bad.
Unfortunately. We're totally.
I could feel the I could feel the pain through time and the internet itself.
And
What do
somewhere,
you want from me?
somewhere deep within the crevices of Vark's mind, he hears a diamond D20 clatter.
Looking closely into this, you're still kind of hung up on whether or not this might be an alchemical item. And an uncharacteristic show from Vark is unable to kind of mentally switch gears. And as far as you can tell, it's just a swirl of multicolored paint.
Dip my finger in it, like
Tastes like lead.
mm, I'm gonna have pain later.
So, unfortunately, you are bereft of ideas of what this paint could be.
You know. Oh, seat it again as best as possible, and then return it to
Yep.
the.
Stuff the cork back in and put it to the side.
I'll input here. Let's see. The ebony bottle.
Okay.
How is this thing sealed?
It is sealed with a crystal stopper.
Okay. I'm mainly trying to avoid opening something that will kill me if inhaled.
Hmm.
Not, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So, how would you like to examine this?
Hmm. I have a really dumb idea.
You like them ideas.
A really, really stupid idea.
Mhm.
Nah, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work diameter wise. You know, just disregard my rambling.
Mhm.
Well, now I'm
Would
interested.
you like to know what I had in mind?
Go for it.
This is gonna sound so fucking stupid. So I was going to try and open the bottle inside of a bag of holding. To no air existing there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no airflow. So something that would be opened wouldn't necessarily like come out, you know? But then I would also need to be able to see still, so I would also have to somehow cramp my head in the bag of holding at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I see no issue with this. Pop off, Era.
So everyone would just see like Vark like
Half, top half completely disappeared.
Yeah.
Bag of holding like wrapped up around like below his armpits as his arms and his head and his shoulders have disappeared into the bag of holding.
Wait, can you jump inside a bag of holding?
Yes. It just
Will
doesn't
you
have any
die?
air.
Yeah.
Oh, so you die.
Well,
Yeah.
You die in 10 minutes or less, yes. So at a time, it tends to contain 10 minutes worth of air. After each time it's opened.
Like you will survive.
for a while.
assuming you get out again.
Mhm. So, would Vark like to do anything with this dark bottle, or would he like to be more cautious and put it away for the time being?
Varg is a cautious person.
He's also on occasion very reckless.
That he is.
Exactly. And that now is one of those times.
Okay.
You got
That
arrested.
being said, he did learn from the last time he did something stupid like this in enclosed spaces. Especially close to the others. Especially close to Chaiko.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, don't make the
So,
same mistake, Vark. Remember, happy wife, happy life.
exactly. So, so Vark is going to
DM.
excuse himself and go on, Julian.
DM. You can kick Zero now for no apparent reason.
What did I do?
I'm just I don't know. I have a sudden urge of unhappiness.
Oh, I cast calm emotions.
Looking at Chaiko, calm down.
And Chaco's like, damn,
You're
you're
being
right.
hysterical.
Daddy, chill.
Daddy, chill.
No, not
Don't
like
say
that.
Chill.
that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
DM.
It's a
I'm losing my mind.
It's a reference to the clip
You're
of the
losing
guy.
your mind. I'm over
Yeah.
here having to soak all this in.
I'm imagining that clip now, but with Chaiko over the face of the guy who's freaking out.
Mhm. So,
DM.
Losing it.
I don't like what the series of you're envisioning. Erase my mind.
So Vark will excuse himself, and why? Like, assuming that we do all this investigation, in the room back there.
Mhm.
I assume we kept them there for now instead of bringing everything to camp.
you didn't bring it to camp? Oh, that's a shame.
Not yet.
Hmm?
I mean, someone else is free to correct me, but I presume we kept them there for now.
Okay.
If that's the case, then Vark will quite literally move to the other side of the cave
Okay.
and open the bottle there.
Okay. Vark opens the bottle,
Move back a bit.
and nothing immediately happens. Upon opening the bottle, you are holding it by the neck?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
One hand around the neck and then the other to remove the stopper.
You uncork the crystal stopper, and what feels and sounds like a gentle cold waft carries what sounds like whispers out of the mouth of the bottle.
Great sign.
Oh, what a lovely sound.
Flick just gives Vark a thumbs up, a concerned thumbs up.
From across the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Good
supportive
luck.
dad.
Vark kind of he covers the opening with his thumb,
Mhm.
brings it up to his nose, and then slowly opens it again. Take a sniff. A whiff.
Smells like petrichor.
You'll need to elaborate there. My English is failing me.
Rain.
Petrichor, the smell of rain on the
Rain.
ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Smells like we're gonna have a bad time.
I can't associate anything with that. At this personal speaking. Hmm. Would a knowledge check apply here? Or maybe alchemy as well? I'm drawing a complete blank, like I personally on this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Quest is like, "Oh, you don't know what this is? It's a bottle of," and then the name is a pun, like a really stupid pun.
Mm-hmm. It's a bottle of rain food.
Yeah.
Bottle of rum.
I would allow
That's well.
some form of knowledge check on this. Alchemy probably is not going to do it. Most alchemical items don't tend to whisper.
I guess the nature?
Hmm?
That would be solely due to the smell association, of course.
Hmm.
Could this be perfume?
I mean, it's a very niche scent, if so. Could be.
Fuck if I know. You know, this
Hmm?
is an ancient civilization.
Yeah.
Who knows what they were up to?
Hmm. They could have been bottling the smell of rain and wearing it. You could try some sort of knowledge check, or you could try the more direct testing method. You could pour some out. You could, I don't know, try taking a sip.
I am going to pour some out, but not like directly, especially not into my hand.
Okay, so
I'm
just
going
pour
to
some out on the
take
ground.
no. Exactly not that.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take out a little glass vial
Okay.
and pour it in there.
You tip the bottle over towards an empty vial. Nothing comes out. It feels like whatever might be coming out kind of is struggling to exit. You're holding it at kind of an angle. You get the impression that it might pour out if you were to pull it, like fully turn it upside down.
Could be so many different things.
That's one thing. It really could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a curse, a bottled curse. It could be a genie. It could be
I'm
food.
currently thinking of some kind of slime adjacent life form, maybe.
Maybe.
Something that specifically like clings to the inside of the bottle. But I heard it slosh. I heard it slosh specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That would imply that it's liquid, you know, and liquid should normally have no problem coming out.
No.
I am not going to tilt the bottle further to promote flow. Instead, I'm going to turn it upside again.
Okay.
As if wanting to stop it. I know it's dark, so I can't really see the liquid quite well. But am I able to tell if the volume of the liquid has changed? Did some of it go missing?
No. The bottle is, as far as you can tell, still full.
Okay, because my next idea was that it's like that one chemical stuff that exists in real life that evaporates almost as soon as it touches the air. You know?
So you're thinking it's some sort of sublimation. or I guess evaporation. I get what you're going for. But as far as you can tell, the bottle is still full to the brim. The bottle is as dark as a pitch black void on the inside.
Fuck. Worst things to say, really, when that's it. But no, fuck it. I'm gonna turn it over entirely.
Okay, cool. Are you still trying to pour it into the vial, or are you just going to pour it on the ground?
Into the vial, yeah.
Okay. As you pour it, turn it fully 100% upside down. With the bottom bulb of the bottle facing directly towards the ceiling, you finally see a thick black fluid begin to flow out, and it does collect in the vial. And then it overflows very quickly. It begins to pour over it, over your hand, down your elbow, dripping to the floor. And before you know it, the shadowy fluid collects into a figure and stands before you.
Oh,
A tall,
shit.
gangly shadow. A creature native to your home, Vark. It stands at about 7 to 8 feet tall, long, stretched thin, and due to the darkness of the room that you're in, seemingly having more cohesion than it would otherwise. And it stands there, and you get the distinct feeling that it's awaiting orders.
I forgot if shadows can speak. They normally don't, they're too busy trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? This one could be friendly.
Press X to doubt.
Oh, I know. No, I know. But hey, who knows? It could be. He looks like a stand-up guy. I don't know what you guys are on about.
Vart will slowly lower the bottle and run a finger over his hand where the liquid had previously spilled to see if if his hand has any like a residue on
Nope.
it.
Clean as a whistle.
Oh, yeah, figured as much.
You freed me. State your command.
Who trapped you in this bottle? Answer me this.
The bright ones.
Wait, huh? Oh, it's a summoned entity.
A Nihilor was trapped in these halls. Were you aware of this? Just to be safe, did that go through or not? Okay, I'll take that as a no. if you're asking that, Annihiloi was trapped in these.
Oh, that I
halls.
heard.
You-
I guess my response
Okay.
didn't go through.
That did not know.
The response was no. Did my previous response go through?
Yes,
Okay.
and the one with the orders, right? You
No,
freed
no.
me.
No,
Come on.
actually, after that, when you asked who trapped him there, his response
The
was
bright one.
the bright ones. Yes.
Okay, yeah, let it go through. Okay, want to ask it how long it's been there, but the time is kind of difficult to tell. If you a bottle and shadow, you're underground in a fucking tomb.
I mean, you could ask it if it knew what year it was when it was placed in the bottle, and
An
just
idea.
do math from there.
I have a similar question, and I might ask it what you just suggested after that. I'm gonna ask it. You were buried with members of different races. Did you know them? Did you know of them?
I have no knowledge of those who rest here.
Actually, how far did your senses extend outside of the bottle? What could you have seen? What could you have witnessed? What did you
It's me.
witness?
I have no knowledge of what happens outside its walls. It is my world. And with that, the shadow begins to melt. And as if rain falling in reverse, falls upwards and then collects in a spiral and then back into the bottle.
Okay.
It would seem there is some form of time limit.
Yeah. And I'll plug it. And I'll keep that there for now. Or rather, I'll leave it at that for now. That's how the saying goes.
Okay.
Okay. Gonna return to the party. This, and he holds up the bottle, contains a shadow. A living shadow. It does not seem hostile. It is bound to the bottle, akin to a familiar. Still, I would not suggest playing around with it,
Give it a
but it
guard.
might be useful. Looking at Carrier, don't drink it.
Don't drink.
Well, as long as it's on our side.
It held a conversation with me. Most of its kind do not go that far. They are nearly mindless in their desire to sap life from its victims. The fact that I remain unharmed already speaks volumes.
Is there anything further you would like to examine?
First, jot down what I just did. That bottle filled with a bound shadow. Um, um, okay. Let's go with the rocks with draconic runes. And now obviously Frey isn't here today, unfortunately, so I can't grab him and tell him look at this. But I will gather every intelligent person in the party who has who's able to speak modern Draconic at least, and I would like to kind of sit together and see if we can decipher what these are for. I guess in the same vein, since we're already like looking at these old draconic runes, I guess I will also retrieve the metal plate from the book,
Okay.
since it's assumed at least prescribed with the same alphabet of runes.
Okay. Those who want to help examine it may roll me linguistics. Those that are untrained in linguistics can instead give me just an intelligence check.
I mean, so sorry, sorry, something came up. What is VARC or people investigating linguistically?
Vark is investigating the 3 rocks with draconic runes on it and the metal plate that also has draconic writing on it.
I will help with. They're not help with. I'll actually roll separately, but yeah. I have.
In that case, I will assist Cannabos because I do not have a specific skill for this.
Bursts of insight again, aka I'm about to give myself a headache just to see if I can
Just
know
see if
what
you can
the fuck is
understand
going.
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially.
Work.
Work.
Fine.
Okay.
Thank you, VAR.
Vark, though not trained in linguistics, is able to give a +2. For a total of 35. Bringing off context clues and the writing you've seen so far. Ganabos, able to puzzle out the rough meaning of what these rocks and this plate are meant to be. The rocks, you're actually able to figure out what exactly because the runes spell out a purpose and a name.
Oh,
It's not the same layered language that the elven tongue seems to be using. But it's still complex and intertwining and strange. The plate itself seems to be the rocks are smooth and about the size of the palm of your hand, and are made of what seems to be pale red sandstone. In your hand, the rock is damp to the touch, despite the fact that there is no sign of moisture on it. And the inscription on it names it as far as you can tell, a mixture between the word for reservoir and stone. And the way that it's kind of portmanteaued leads the name resembling reservoir.
sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, water stone type. Water rock type.
Water rock.
Yeah. Reservoir, yes. And the instructions on the stone are drop into water.
Well, if you drop this into water, something happens.
As for the book page,
I see. That's all.
As for the plate you found in the book, it is inscribed with a lot more like flowery, mystical words. But with a roll that high, you're able to parse through it well enough. It's an inscription that details a process, instructions, as well as kind of sort of a spell inscription as well. What spell that is, you're not sure, but what you do know is that a good chunk of the inscription is "This book belongs to," and then ends in that blank space, seemingly left open for a name.
It is quite literally a bookmark.
Though the inscription also states that it should be glued to a book. Assumably, you put it on the inside or outside cover. So you have the front or back cover, I should say.
Metal, bone plate, meant to
If you
be.
if you want to figure out what spell is inscribed onto this thing, again, spellcraft.
Good idea with the spell free. Another nat one. Yeah.
Oh, not bad. The spell inscription upon the plate gives it away as being a spell of instant summons.
Huh.
Put together, this means glued into any sort of book, whoever puts their name into the plate can, once per day, immediately summon that book to them.
Huh.
Huh.
So it's like a death note, but it doesn't kill you.
That we know of, at least.
That we know of.
Mm.
That is a good point.
That when attached to a book.
You know what they say? I've played these games before.
Summoned in
I played these games. I played.
one. Okay. Now, unfortunately, you will need to repeat the entry about the rune stones. I did hear the end tail of that. I was in the kitchen making food.
Okay.
The,
They are damp to the touch,
weather was-
and they're inscribed
Mhm.
with basic instructions saying drop into water, and a name that loosely translates to reserve rock.
Okay, so all three of them have that.
Yes, all three of them are identical.
Okay. The touch.
Assumably, these things were
Um,
semi-mass produced.
Yeah, something like that. Instruct should be dropped into water. Labeled there Wrok.
Okay.
I spelled it like this. Roll 20. That correct?
Close. Honestly, close enough. So yes, I'm gonna try and speed things along a little bit because we have been going for 2.5 hours,
Yes.
and I do want to
Fair enough.
eventually move things along. So let's try and
Never.
speed things up a little bit. What's the next
Yeah.
item you want to identify?
Right. Pottery, not really. I mean, nah, fuck it. The spectacles.
Okay.
I'll put them on Mallory's face.
Okay. Cool. Mallory, you have Vark taking a pair of chain link spectacles and shoving them in front of you. He did.
Lynn.
Mallory, are you here with us?
Is
Oh my
Mallory,
gosh, she's dead.
Here we go.
is the Mallory close right now?
Quick, someone
Um,
give some keys a jingle.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a shadow by its toe.
If
I
he
put them on Flick's
hollers,
face.
Wait a minute.
Flick's face?
Yeah, yes.
Mhm. Okay, Flick, you have the spectacles put in front of your eyes, and it seems to magnify your vision slightly.
Whoa! I can see the wall over there. Like, really see that wall? Wow, that's a lot of detail.
Hmm.
Except I starts
I could
looking
see-
up and down like the wall.
I can see the crack.
I could see every pore on Mark's face.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whoa, fuck you! Whoa, fuck! Didn't realize your eyes were that detailed.
Deep look into
Like
his
actually just
eyes.
needed glasses this whole time.
God, that would be so
Flick
funny.
Flick was nearsighted this whole time.
That's why he
Oh my
was
God,
holding
I'm-
back.
Oh my God, a
I
magic
can't
item.
see.
I can't believe it.
No, it's yeah. He didn't engage in range combat because he didn't have range combat. He just can't see that far.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, Kara, that's what you look
Decided.
like?
You can, you've noticed, holding these close now, Flick, you notice that the chain linking these together could actually be disconnected.
I do so.
You disconnect them? Okay. If you hold both the lenses to your eyes, it still magnifies your vision slightly.
God, so it was a pair of magnifying glasses.
What happens if you separate them, like pull them apart from each other?
Immediately, nothing. They do separate easily. It's it's assumable that they're meant to separate in such a way.
And if you put one before the other,
Warped vision.
okay, don't do that.
It creates a momentary moment of nausea as if you look through both of them at the same time through one eye.
Oh, bloody hell! Yeah, no, don't do that. And I linked them back together.
Yeah. Okay, got splintered go paper.
Yeah, and also we also has a pair of magnifying glasses there.
That the stone plate with the elven runes.
Okay. If you wish to divine what this says, somebody that speaks Elvish can potentially make a linguistics check to understand this.
I'm gonna take a look at Cannibals.
I think I know Elvish, or is that Sylvan?
You know Sylvan, I believe.
Oh, I read.
May I attempt?
Sure.
Yes, please.
I believe is linguistics one of those like skills that you need to have ranks in it.
Yes, otherwise you can't roll above 10.
Oh,
Okay.
let me see what I have.
I think I might be one of the only few people that actually invest in linguistics.
Oh, I didn't invest in it, but I am trained in it, so I could potentially get above a 10. But
Are you
if you
trained in it?
have... Well, there's a check mark next to it.
That means it's a class skill.
Trained in it means you have...
Ranks. You need to have at least one rank
Ranks.
in a skill to be trained in it.
I'm
Oh
going-
no, bro, I'm not trained in it. Never mind.
go-
I do nothing.
I'm gonna give myself a headache once again, and then I'm gonna roll linguistics.
Oh, boy.
23.
For 23. That is enough. Looking at the spiral pattern, you see what looks to be the worn emblem of a dragon in the center, where previously you thought it might be blank. As if it had been worn smooth through contact. The swirling elvish runes detail simply something along the lines of, "Worthy pilgrim, touch your hand to the stone, become blessed."
Okay. I mean, we've been determined to be worthy pilgrims by
Yes.
the trials.
Mm-hmm.
I put my face in the blank space in the middle.
You put your face?
Face, not my face, my fucking head. I mean, sorry.
Okay.
Just shoves his head in.
Interesting.
Interesting approach. My face is not here. Okay. Okay. Sure. Vark, you put your hand to the plate, and for a moment, you feel it adhere in place as your hand almost attaches itself to the plate. And it's a quick moment of searing pain. And before it becomes too much, it stops and your hand detaches.
I slowly raise my hand from the plate and turn it over to inspect my palm.
On the palm, resembling the worn inscription of a dragon that was on the plate, is a coiled dragon on your palm. You got a new tattoo.
Oh. Wait, is it a tattoo or a brand?
More of a brand, really.
Yeah.
It's his brand.
My brain.
It's his
My
brand.
My brand.
He has special
Okay.
eyes. Holds up the monocles. So yeah.
Can I detect any kind of magic radiating off of it?
Do you detect magic?
I don't have that. I would need to resort to Siri for that, for example.
Sure.
She's just gonna poke it and cast detect magic.
Okay. Yeah. It seems to radiate some form of transmutation magic.
Okay.
Transmutation and divination.
Okay. Placing hand on it again.
It is at this point, though, you'll notice one thing. Vair is giving you an interesting look.
No, Vayer. Friends, not food.
Since I'm well aware that Raya can speak, I speak Draconic, so
Mm-hmm.
I turn towards him and just straight up ask, "Does this have any effect on you?"
It not on me, but I notice two things right now. He says back in what for you feel is somehow like clearer draconic than you previously got from him. It says, first of all, you touched your hand to the plate, and now you're glowing like a nightlight. Second, you've got no accent.
Oh. He speaks dragon now. Wait, can you understand this? And Siren says a draconic tongue twister.
Yeah, you've still got the accent. Like you're struggling a little bit with the sibilant syllables. Like the hisses and things. You're good, but you're not quite fluent. Vark all of a sudden sounds like a native speaker.
Okay. I'm specifically going to take out one of the rune stones again. Whereas previously we had to like kind of work together to really decipher this.
Reads clear as day to you.
Okay.
Yep, straight up says res of rock. Place into water, purifies within 1 hour.
Perfect sounds okay. Purify water is rough. And within hour. Okay. Brands it with a draconic symbol. Seemingly bestows native efficient draconic language, modern and ancient. Also makes you incredibly easy to makes you appear incandescent to draconic beings. I guess I'll pose a question towards you. Does Karia have the same effect? Like does he also see miracles?
No.
No. Maybe it's pure half dragons.
You would assume you would show up like that to true dragons.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's hope that either this wears off, or that we don't need to sneak. That I don't have to sneak around when we meet Orsos.
What do you mean? You're all my +1.
Plus
Excuse
infinity.
me.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be a nice like social event, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna go talk to our dad with tea and fairy cakes.
Save.
Yes,
By which
absolutely
I
we
mean he's
are.
probably gonna make
Winks.
cakes out of fairies just to be spiteful.
No. Why the fairies? They're not
Oh,
very
fairies are
nutritious.
bastards anyway.
Oh, lad, it, not me. Oh, for sure, we're not
Especially
feeding
that
me.
one.
That one just tastes a little wrong.
What one tastes pickled?
Ugh.
Well, with this knowledge now seeped into me quite literally, I guess I will turn towards the book, the tome.
Cool. So it's mostly burned and
And-
shredded, with only the last few
Yep.
pages being left. To
What about the last sections?
to Siren, this book has a strong magical aura of every school of magic.
Every.
Every school of magic.
That's usually not a good sign.
Mm. You open the book, and it comes up to a spell page.
Oh, it was spell.
It's very recognizable writings of wizardly spell pages. This is
Okay.
presumably a book of spells of some sort.
I guess obviously I can now decipher the writing on a normal level,
Mm-hmm.
but since it's wizard speak, I would still need some time to decipher it.
Yep.
From that now.
Read magic could help with this.
True. Don't. Who be whispering? Or whistling rather. Fuck. I'm losing
I
it.
just think there's someone here
Oh.
who might have read magic.
Yeah, I assumed as much.
There might be.
Is it off Fox? Is it off Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Please,
Chaiko.
Chaiko, you go.
Yeah, Chaiko, you do see Vark holding the burnt, tattered remnants of that spell book you pulled out of the clay container.
You help with that?
If you would be so kind.
Yep. All right.
You
So
can do.
20
mean-
Fox will get up.
Mhm.
I was like 20 Fox is going to get up and move over next to uh wow,
Vark.
names. I just Vark, there we go. Wow.
Work of the
I
Algo
shuffled through
Valley.
every other person's I shuffled through every person's name. I couldn't think of Vark. Anyways, so
Vark of the Algo
move over
Valley.
next to Vark and go,
Let's see how it is.
alright. Hand it here. Give me that sass again. I'm ripping the book right in front of you.
What do you mean?
So,
You see it, nothing. No.
with Read Magic, you are able to read that this page that is open to is for the spell Vomit Swarm.
Lovely. Effective and terrifying.
What is spell?
Yes. This is the one that lets you throw up a swarm of spiders.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Again,
It's an
I asked,
alchemist and witch spell.
why is it a
Oh, bloody hell.
Woo! What's something for me that I'll never use?
Yeah. So,
you do that, Vark?
I would
We're
like
gonna have
That's
problems.
also beloved.
a spellcraft check from you, Jaco.
All right. Well, you have access to the page.
True, I do. Okay, spellcraft. For a total of 28.
Yippee!
Jaco, you have a good look at this, and you're tempted to turn the page, and then you recognize this isn't a normal spell book. Normal spell books don't radiate magical auras like that. And what?
It's
Mhm.
go on.
Well, it's like spell books can have magical auras. They're often hit with like preservation magic, or sometimes the spells within are so powerful that even just writing them down causes them to emanate an aura. But powerful aura from every school of magic, something's fishy here.
Yeah.
The book
I
itself,
think I want to find out what it's.
the book itself is enchanted in some way. And it's not just this usual funny haha blasting rune on every page. That would be just overridingly evocation. You hover your hand over one page and you're thinking of turning it because fuck this spell. And then you think better of it and you examine the book itself, you examine the enchantments upon it. And you determine this to be something Vark's master probably would have wanted at some point, or even would have considered a valuable curiosity. This magic item is a minor artifact. And to get across the significance of that, something that is of artifact power are magical items that are pseudo-legendary.
One of Flixier's immediately twitches at the thought.
Unfortunately,
Hey.
this one is downright nearly ruined. It has about 2, 3, 7, 8 pages left, including Vomit Swarm. This is what is known as a Book of Infinite Spells. Effectively.
I have to ask.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was to ask. What does that entail? I guess would be the.
Effectively,
Or the-
once per day, you can cast the spell to which the book is opened. If it's one that's on your spell list, you can cast it up to 4 times per day.
Oh.
This can potentially give spells to non-spellcasters. However, non-spellcasters holding this book, take a negative level while doing so.
Oh, is it like
Permanent?
No, only until you let go of the book.
Hmm.
Although
Honestly, not a bad trade-off, honestly.
technically, it does last for the rest of the day until you rest it off. But yes, not permanent. But
Honestly,
still,
not a bad trade-off.
yeah.
Hmm.
If the spell is on your spell list, you can cast the spell up to 4 times per day. The spells cannot be cast as if from a scroll, nor can they be copied into a spell book. The magic is bound permanently within the book itself. You don't have to have the book in your possession in order to use its power either. If you're bound to the book, you can cast off the page that it was last opened to. You can store it somewhere halfway across the world and still have access to that spell.
So that's what the metal plate was for.
Potentially. However, you know that each time you cast a spell, it has a chance of automatically turning the page. And the more familiar you are with the magic on the page, the less likely that is to happen. The most likelihood of that happening happens when like a non-spellcaster employs it, and it's not. For people who are spellcasters, if it's not on their spell list, or if it's a spell above their usual castable level. Lastly, the big caveat and why that's important. Turning the pages on a book of infinite spells is a one-way trip. Once you turn the page, you cannot turn it back. And once you reach the last page, a spell of erase activates, destroying the entire book.
Oh,
and there's 8 pages?
that's no bueno.
There's 8 pages left to this. The majority of the book has been destroyed.
But so the book is the only one that can turn its own pages. We
No,
cannot
the user
flip
can
through
turn it.
them.
Every time you cast, though, it has a chance of turning.
What is the chance?
Hard to guess.
I see. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Okay.
All right, I'm looking up on the website. I'm looking up on the
Fuck you.
documentation.
Is outright. If you are a
That-
spellcaster and it is a
that
spell,
partially ruins the fun.
yeah, it does partially ruin the fun. Just like I will say, if you the one thing you know is if you are a caster and it is a spell you can cast and it is appropriate level, you have a 1 in 10 chance of the page turning.
Okay.
So yeah, the question is, Vomit Swarm is not on your spell list, and besides which, it is a
No.
thoroughly unpleasant spell. Do you want to change? Do you want to take the chance to flip it already, or do you just want to put that thing away?
I'm gonna keep it there for now.
Right, because Var can
Yeah, as
Var
I'm
can make
thinking.
use of Vomit Swarm.
How to interact to this? You know what? I'm not going to ask.
Okay. You're just gonna keep it and stash the book away for the time being?
I think that's probably the best idea.
Okay. What else do you want to examine?
I don't remember. Did we examine the clay thing?
No.
The cylinder?
No, that's the last thing actually. Yeah, it is probably the last thing on the list.
So
So,
spectacles,
put it on.
pigment. There is the armor and the weapon.
Oh fuck! Of course.
And the tapestry.
I wasn't look. I wasn't
Everything June
looking
wrote
at
down.
the things that Cyrano. Yeah, everything.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna hand over the armor and the hatchet to Chico. Actually,
Have you removed
think
that off
she
the
can do
half
better
off the
with
half
that.
dragon corpse?
True. Fuck. I think we should do the corpse restoration first, and the spinner
Then-
is dead.
Okay.
Before we
Alright.
do that, at least.
Okay. In that case, the tapestry and the cylinder would be the next things to examine. Which one do you want to do first?
Since I'm still under the influence of that brand, I guess the tapestry.
Okay. The tapestry is a long stretch of, well, threadbare tapestry. Depicts a red draconic figure descending from the sky towards a group of humanoids with long, pale hair, reaching up towards it. Despite its state, looking on this instills you with a sense of awe.
There no writing on it?
No,
Just as
not as far as you can
an
tell.
image?
It's all
Yeah.
just imagery.
Potentially dumb question, but I turn it around. Anything there?
On the other side is the depiction of those long-haired humanoids bowing, kneeling, and seemingly paying tribute in a large, shining golden bowl to the red draconic figure.
Does the depiction of that image specifically draw any attention to the bowl itself, or is it just like a vessel and
Just a vessel
the
of
main
some sort.
focus is a dragon?
The dragon is most certainly the emphasis.
No. I guess I'm gonna do a spellcraft
Absolutely.
just in case. Okay. Yeah. 1 second. I hit it with the old
26.
inspiration as well. 631. Um.
31.
Yeah. To see. I have a feeling that sense of awe is magically inclined almost.
Certainly. It doesn't seem like it's a natural feeling of yours.
Yeah.
Upon closer look, the tapestry is instilled with abjuration magic. Specifically, it gives you a +2 morale bonus to your touch AC if worn.
Worn. Okay.
Worn.
Yes, you could potentially, because it's a long strip, you could wear it as a shawl.
That's Karya's king
Huh.
cape.
This would take up the shoulder slot if you were to wear it.
Makes sense,
Additionally,
okay.
once per day, as an immediate action, you can target another character within 30 feet to negate a single attack against them.
Oh.
When the
Whoa.
wearer uses
Right.
this, they lose the the morale bonus to AC until the start of their next turn. I will give the actual item particulars about this, and I will put them in Simple Path.
Okay. Okay, in that case, I'm going to copy message link and add it to the entry. There. So now, if you click on that thing, it will link you to the shawl. Let's see.
Where's this?
In my list of items.
Ah,
It's less useful because the thing I'm linking to is literally 3 messages down. But yeah, just for the sake of
okay.
it, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, in that case, while we're doing this, if you also want to link them, since you figured, I'll put the ones you guys have fully figured out.
That'd be right now.
And you can start linking them as well.
Recall. Message. Well, I'm gonna edit these posts to more presentable once I'm done with this. Zerfrock. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, I was really close with the spelling there. Well, uh, uh spell- mm,
Okay.
mm,
All right. Try to keep on
uh,
moving.
okay, cylinder time.
Cylinder time.
We like cylinders.
It is smooth with inscriptions that seem to have worn away.
Completely or
Faded.
um,
Would mending restore
I
the scriptures?
I'm going. Hmm. Depending on how you see it, inscriptions like etchings could be considered damage to be repaired by the spell.
Maybe.
I'm going to.
But that said, it's
I'm
not any
gonna
sort of like writing or anything. It's just more like vines and leaves twining along the cylinder.
just be safe. I'm going to take like some just grave dust almost, some of the fine like powder.
Some grit.
Yep, and I'm gonna sprinkle it over the etchings, and then using a little fine brush, I do forensic shit.
I'm gonna forensics this shit. Yeah. I'm gonna Batman.
I am the knight, after all.
You are the knight. You are also beloved.
Yes.
But knighted. Wait, no, that means you're stupid. That'd be the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna forensic. It does help kind of actually wear a bit more of a groove into the, and it does reinforce. Yeah, it looks like vines and leaves twirled around it. It's meant to. It looks aesthetic, not descriptive,
Okay.
and it looks nice. Well, it's you can tell that there was love and craftsmanship put into the decoration on this,
Yeah.
which also implies that there was a lot more to this than just being a clay cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me another perception check?
Okay. Uh,
As you're gritting and brushing this, some of the dust and grit seems to get wedged in something. And you put your nail into it. Go for it with a brush. It'll get stuck. And so you go in with your nail, and you find yourself finding a discreet, otherwise easy to miss catch in the cylinder.
Would Vark have? Yeah, Vark has very fine, detailed nails.
Mm-hmm.
Manicure's on point.
Ah, yes, he's on fleek, as they say.
Indeed, I am on fleek.
He is serve
Carefully.
and slay and other such words.
I'm
He's
gonna
giving archaeologist.
very carefully put my nail in that little not crack of in the
Okay.
seam.
You press the nail in, and the other end of the cylinder seems to pop. Not explode off, but like the other end seems to just
outwards.
Just a tiny bit. It shifts. So that was the sort of a crack. It's like a circular crack around the end.
Unless there's resistance, I'm going to keep pushing with the nail.
It doesn't seem to go any further.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to now go turn it around and grab that cylinder, not the round thing that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull it.
You're very careful about it. You feel like if you're too rough with it, it may snap. And
I
pulling it doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay.
You give a ginger tug, and nothing seems to happen.
Twisting it, turning
You
it,
twist it.
like a novel dial.
You twist it, and the whole cylinder. Wait. Actually, you twist it, and then through the action, holding one end, twisting the other, the whole cylinder gently slides apart, extending. It doesn't fully disconnect or become removed. The insides of the cylinder pull out. And the inside of the cylinder begins to rotate. As it slowly begins to recede back into the cylinder, spinning and just gently, slowly returning to the inside. And as it does that, it begins to play music. In a language you can barely understand, the sound of what you think is a mother's voice, gentle and soothing, sings what could only be a lullaby. The song plays for about 5 minutes until the cylinder fully retracts back into itself and clicks shut. Those of you who are familiar with Elvish can be fairly certain that that was a spoken example of Eldwild, the ancient Elvish language. So yay.
What's that post?
Say again, Mark?
Just editing my thing again. So there.
Hmm.
Could you spell Eldwild to me?
Well, I did that a few sessions ago, but I can do it again.
I actually wrote it correctly.
Nice.
I just guessed it.
Nice. But yes. You found some sort of lullaby music box.
Okay. Rock is particularly careful when he puts that back to the other items.
This will...
There's something. Yep, go on.
You go ahead.
No, it's just that again, emotions, feelings. Vark is still figuring those out, but even he noticed something like tugging when the music played. And that means a lot to him.
As a remark, to those hoping to figure out and actually learn the Old Elvish language, now that you have both written and spoken examples of how the dialect is spoken, it is now possible to properly sit down and learn it.
Yeah.
You have a stone that imparts ancient Draconic on you through magic, and the materials needed to learn Eldwilt through both spoken and written example.
Fuck yeah.
To those modern native Elvish speakers who aren't so linguistically gifted, it sounds like gibberish. It's the difference between modern English and Old English. Like picking up a untranslated copy of Beowulf and reading that. And for those who are linguistically gifted, they can see the connections and where the bridge and the gap is. I believe that's all the loose items.
Indeed. Now
Yes.
the only thing left is the armor and the hatchet.
Yep. The armor, the hatchet, and the corpse.
I wouldn't call that an item, but I guess, yeah,
It's
in
an
the most
object.
literal then. Yeah.
It belongs in a museum.
True.
Alright, shut up.
It belongs in a grave.
That too. I mean, it is in a grave.
It's not properly buried, I would say.
Fair. So, what would you like to do about that? I know that.
Well, the corpse?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going for
our
the...
corpse experts.
Yes.
Well, I thought we were doing the weapon and the armor before that.
I mean, it's still on the body.
That's true. So
If you want to pull it off
three
the
birds with
body
one stone.
and then
How-
worry about the whole speak with dead thing, that's doable. Or if you'd rather talk to the body and then take the stuff off of it, that's also doable.
How about we
But
we identify the items first,
Mhm.
and then we
Can-
maybe, because it sounds like if it's a dragon car, I might be interested in it. What if we just maybe call it there for tonight and then pick up tomorrow? Quickly, like go through this, get out of here, and then go back to the town.
Okay.
That's true.
You could do
I
that.
also do need to go in 15 minutes, so that would
Okay. In that
work.
case, let's try and make this quick.
Can we identify those two things while it's on the body?
Yes, you most certainly can.
Okay, because I feel like if we're gonna talk to a corpse, I feel like it would feel offended if we were to remove its possessions and then start talking to it. Like
Maybe.
we'll remove it after we're done talking to it.
Okay.
Him, them.
What would you like to inspect first?
The armor?
Sure. Okay. The armor. Who wants to have a look at the armor? What do you want to do? As far as like the material that it's composed of, that will take an appraise to determine what that is. Anything further, anything magical will require a spellcraft. Those of you, or I guess Vark now, who speaks Ancient Draconic, or Vispatched, can notice that in the with the head with the skull gone, there is actually a name emblazoned in the neckline of this mail coat. It reads Ashclad.
That sounds more like a clan name almost.
Maybe. But yes. Who wants to potentially have a look at appraising or spellcrafting the armor?
I can definitely spellcraft. Appraise with Chaiko's territory, right?
Yeah, praising is more my territory. I'm more of a weapons type of fella.
Yeah.
But Karia is more armor based. Funnily enough, even though
Funny you
it
should say that.
rarely comes up.
Funny you should say that. Karya has no ranks in armor crafting.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I felt that you wouldn't.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll it praise for you. Chaco comes out to a 23, and Vark comes out to a 24. So Chaco, up until recently, you never worked with anything draconic in Meg. But recently you happen to be able to see some dragon materials and dragon made stuff. And this suit of armor is an interesting pattern. You've never seen anybody make something like this before. The way that the thin plates are layered over one another is super different to what you're used to. And the material they're made from is something called dragon smelt. It's a lost form of forging that requires not only patience, but a red dragon's breath to make happen. In this case, it is dragon smelt mithril.
Oh.
The
Please repeat that.
is dragon smelt mithril.
Okay.
I will put the stat block down in a second, so you don't have to worry.
Okay.
The suit of armor itself is what would be referred to as mountain pattern armor. Is a form of, in our world, Chinese, almost scale mail armor. Probably get a picture. I know Cam has one readily available, as he made this. The armor itself functions as mithril, is a +1 bonus, and the armor itself is immune to fire damage. It grants its wearer 10 points of fire protection.
Oh.
Oh, baby.
That is.
There we go. So there we go. That is Ashclad, now shared with you. Yes. Cam posted it in Tavern menu. That is an example of mountain pattern armor. Is sometimes called that because the way the scale plates are overlapped on one another, it looks like a mountain range.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. I've seen that armor stuff before.
And lastly, the hatchet. The stone hatchet planted in the dragon's corpse. This one is nowhere near the sophisticated dragon smelt that the armor is. I would like another. So I'm going to have another appraise. Yes, a dragon does. If a dragon smelt, it means a dragon dealt.
Good.
Another praise from Chaiko. This time on a weapon. Though it's nowhere close to the intricate smithing that Chaiko has done, it is a sharp rock on a bone.
It gets the job done.
Yes, it does. I'm going to also say, so she's the weapon expert, also a spellcraft from Chaiko, coming out to a 26. Chaiko, When appraising this, do you just yank it out of the body?
Preferably not, but I 100% can.
I mean, it's up to you whether or not Draco would be the kind of person to go up to a centuries dead corpse with a stone hatchet in it and just pull it out.
Will she do it to the armor? Yes, after understanding it was mithril. After looking at the axe, she would probably look at it from from the distance, like, oh, this got to be good, got to be good. Realize it's stone and go, nah. All right, let's just look at it normal.
Yep. Well, to be fair, it was able to chop through dragon smelted mithril. So there's something about this axe.
There is something about that axe.
That axe. With that roll, that is enough. This is inscribed to, I think, Kanabos with very little difficulty. With the kind of Pidgekin Eldwild he's been able to learn so far, is actually able to read an inscription on the length of the bone, written in those elvish runes. It reads Foe Breaker. Between the
Oh yeah, I guess.
between the appraisal shows that it's just straight up. It's like a femur with a wedge of stone tied in place with sinew. However, it is somehow enchanted to make that shard of stone sharp or sharper than steel. So much so that it is a +2 weapon.
Holy fuck.
Oh.
Oh, someone really must like that stone.
Yeah. Someone put, like, there's some serious magic behind this thing. Not only is it a +2 axe, it is also enchanted with keen and wounding.
Oh,
Oh.
who
Not
uses
only
axe in this party?
nobody.
Is
is,
it
however,
heavy?
Not particularly. It's like a hand axe or a battle axe.
Who would put those kind of enchantments on a hand axe? That's an interesting decision.
I mean, last time you saw a weapon this well enchanted, made of just like primitive materials, it was with the troglodytes.
That's fair. Oh my god, I wonder if the troglodytes are like a descendants, like degenerative descendants of these people. Probably not.
Who knows? But yes, so this is keen, meaning it doubles its what do you call it? Its crit range. Just making sure I've got one thing correct. Yes. Yes, it is a. Yeah, it is effectively the same as a battle axe. 1d8 damage is a medium weapon. Yeah, so it's a 19 to 20 crit with a 3 times multiplier. Slashing weapon made of bone and stone. And its wounding enchantment makes it so that every time it hits, it causes 1 point of cumulative bleed damage, which means every time you're hit by that, you have another point of bleeding. At the start of your turn, you lose that much HP.
And it doesn't go away unless it gets healed or is a heal check, if I
Yes,
recall
either
correctly.
DC 15 heal check or any magical healing you receive. Also, in addition, this axe is specifically enchanted, so anytime it strikes a vital organ, so on a critical hit, it sends shockwaves of pain through the target, applying either the choice of the shaken or sickened condition for 1 round.
Whoever made this was specifically choosing for it to cause almost torturous amounts of pain. It's suffered.
Absolutely.
Maybe whoever came in that room decided they wanted to test run of it.
Yes.
Oh God. Hey, blank, hit me with that axe.
Is this one of the items that Cam made?
Yes.
I just imagine him in his workshop going, like a gremlin making it.
Oh, we worked on this together. But he was the
Oh,
one I
so you
tap.
were both-
He's the
Very-
one he's the one I often tap for magical item ideas because he has great ideas.
Next
Are we-
question.
He's also
Are we
he was also the
developing-
mastermind behind a lot of the items for the ship, for the treasure you got.
Are we developing weapons? No, we are not, because we've already made them.
What's it
Okay,
called?
Mastermind.
My question becomes.
Mhm.
My question becomes. What was I about to say?
Cam says you're right, June. Yes. What is your question?
Is Cam just a canonical? Is Cam just canonical existence that just kind of just cranks out dumb things?
I mean, we both do.
Are you both canonical?
Yes. Yes.
That sounds about right.
Yes, this is Pathfinder First Edition. I know that a lot of people are big fans of Second Edition. That is cool. I tend to run with First Edition because it's what closely matches what I'm used to, and I enjoy it quite a bit. And I love subjecting my players to it and torturing them. Also, yes, Checo doesn't get looted. Yes, welcome in, Razzlemeyer. Oh, thank you for the follow, Razzle. That's very kind of you. Yeah, everybody gets. No, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. Everybody can enjoy the systems and the additions that they like. And I like what I like. So yeah, I'm glad to be an instant follow for you and that you're a fan of it. Yeah, welcome in. Well, we're probably gonna be finishing out soon, since a few of us have to leave like right about nowish. But you are here just in time to watch everybody interrogate a corpse. So that'll be a
Yes.
treat. So, armor and hatchet have been identified.
Or were we going to leave the corpse interrogation for next
Right,
session?
yes, you're going to leave the corpse
Sorry.
interrogation for next time. Sorry. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little
Sorry.
excited.
Sorry, that's
Well,
But
hey,
now we have to do it for honor.
No, we have
our
to.
sake.
Yes.
think about it. If you have time, you can always tune in for next session tomorrow.
That's true. You don't have to wait for long.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Speak with Deb will be fun. Yes, it will. Especially considering these are not corpses that you could typically speak to. But Restore Corpse helps with that. Yes. So, oh god, ad break is running. Why? Done. Okay. So, right, because as you'll notice, there is one vacant space here. This is our Dragon Man Karya. He has a particular interest in this ruin in particular, though everybody has an interest here. This guy in particular would have particular stakes in the body that they're going to interrogate. First time session was a replace making sure. Yes, Speak with Dead is always fun, especially if you're going to monkey paw the questions. Especially if the corpse for some reason has any reason to not like or be hostile to the questioners and twist the answers in such a way as to be incredibly unhelpful. Because that's one factor in the spell is if the guy you're summoning doesn't like you for some reason or is an opposed alignment, then they don't necessarily have to be nice about it. But yes, unfortunately, we're going to hang up things for now. The guy who's missing will have a particular interest in the person they're going to be questioning. He has another half-dragon that they're going to be talking to here in this ancient ruin of his people's past. However, you're not going to have to wait for long, as we will have next session tomorrow, uncharacteristically, since we're trying to make up for time, because one of our players is going to be gone for several months. We want to be in a good place. So, next session, right around 4 hours ago, is when we usually start. If you want to tune in then, if you got the free time, or if you want to catch up on the VOD later, you can be there for the corpse interrogation. Fun times. But yes, thank you all very much for being here. Thank you to my players for playing and for allowing me to torture you in many various ways.
Thank you
Yeah,
for running.
good job, though.
Thank
you very much for
Always a pleasure
running.
to have you guys. Right. Okay. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. my time. Whatever. 1-2 boogaloo time for all of you. Right, okay. Thank you guys, those who came, those who stayed, those who didn't, whatever the case. Thank you very much. Take care of each other and stay excellent. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Goodbye.
Arrivederci.